to start a show. Yeah. The area high school band. Our cheerleaders are going to be back with us in a little bit. As you can see, we are live from Harmon Geist Memorial Field. We are back again, season number 2. Head coach Scott Sacco is with me. I am your host, Mikey Sosar. We are live. It is a walk between the hash marks. We're not walking yet because the season hasn't started. As you can tell by I still got my summer look going on, Coach.
Looks good.
Yeah,
Looks
thank
good.
you. Thank you. You look good yourself. It's like kind of summer.
Yeah.
But yet,
Yeah.
So we got our summer looks on, but we are here to talk about the season, everything around this football program. I ran into Coach Sacco, what was it, back in May? He was going around about his upcoming camp he was hosting. Back in May, he was excited. So much to talk about, so many things to do. Scott, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And if I remember to pull out my cards, I'll be a lot better. But quickly, before we get into things, I want to thank our sponsors, and we'll get into them more and more as the season goes on. As you can see, they're all around the screen. We put everybody in because there's a lot of support for this, and they deserve their flowers as well. Bar Bush Automotive and BLB Auto Sales, Alta Pizzeria and Pasta House, Dante's Inferno food truck, great food as you know. Noki's Designs for our beautiful shirts. Our guest Paul Bow, our play-by-play, our resident analyst. I don't know, we could give him all kind of names. You'll see his. We want to thank Noki's Designs. Also, PA Warriors Baseball Academy. 2 staples that are here every football home game and have been here, have joined us this year. The Magical Paintbrush, paint by Kate. Lily Bean's Boutique, catch that, LLC, Bow, not Boo, B-O-W, because she is truly the bow lady. And the Strand Roller Rink and Hall Rentals. All our sponsors. It's just so great to have everybody on board. We couldn't ask for a more beautiful day. I'm ready, brother. It was a long season last year. We're not even going to touch on that. We got to talk about the new digs on the helmets and the uniforms. Really excited. I think 26 is really going to shape up a lot better.
I think they're so much different. Just our opening that we just had. And, it's a little nerve-wracking sitting here. We have everybody from the band. We have the cheerleaders here.
Yeah, we never have a live on.
No, it's usually
even
me and you.
If we screw up.
It's usually just me and you sitting here. We had, quite the opening. So,
yeah.
Little different year or two here. And really, our football team's going to look a little different, too, this year. So, this year we decided to go with the new helmet. Decided to change the color of the helmet.
Domes.
Yeah, the silver helmet. Yeah. We're one of the first teams to actually change to this color. The color is actually called a smoke gray. It's going to look really sharp on Friday night here under the lights.
Oh, yeah, I think it's just getting it out of the locker room and the lights shining off it there. I can only imagine, with the background of the field and the dark fall nights we have here at Harmon Geist. It's going to look pretty
So not only that, our home jerseys and our away jerseys, we got a whole new look this year.
The boys will be on the 6 captains, all seniors.
They'll be on.
You'll get a good look at the unis as well.
And they'll get everybody that's here tonight will get a good look at the uniforms because we're going to wear them out for Meet the Cougars tonight and be able to see everything. So
before we get into stuff, that's what I want to mention, and we want to bring note. We are on here live at 4 as we do like the pre-show every year. This is our pre-show for Walk Between the Hash Marks as well. But it also is a pre-show for Meet the Cougars, which happens right here tonight. Introductions to the football team. Everybody gets to meet everyone in the football program. The band is going to be introduced. I believe they're performing as well. The cheerleaders, all of them, unified, the whole squad. Everybody is going to get a good look at what's going to happen here. I guess we talk about it every year that it's kind of like a pregame to an actual what a game night would be.
Yeah.
Concessions, lots of good eats. Love the food.
Every year we try to do it bigger and bigger. Meet the Cougars was a big thing when I played.
Absolutely.
The stands would be packed. We brought it back last year and did it last year. And I thought we had a really good crowd. We're expecting an even bigger crowd tonight for a lot of people coming out and support. A lot of excitement around the community. People coming around so that they're coming down. And it's nice because we kick off our opening game is at home next Friday.
Right. 1 week from tonight, West Grant Invaders come join us, and
so
that's a whole other issue we'll touch on shortly.
In the high school You only get 5 home games.
Right.
So to have another night like this for like our concession stand, the vendors, the quarterback club, everybody coming out to be able to be here and almost have another home game. There's a lot of these things that people don't realize, like the quarterback club shed, the band concession, they're fundraisers.
Right. They sell the T-shirts, the hats, the banners at the quarterback club, the band parents association.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're called now.
Yeah.
Cheeseburgers, hamburgers, hot dogs, all your general basic foods that we keep talking.
And then the cheerleaders have a table. They're selling a lot of stuff. My daughter usually invests in that table heavily.
Unified and regular will have, I know they're doing some face painting, different trinkets. I know Unified is doing these really cool nifty bracelets I saw online.
Yeah.
Lily Beans is here with her bows. Jen's Toy Den is joining us this year.
Yes.
They're kind of associated with one another. We'll get into that in later episodes. And of course, who can forget Kate with the face paints, whether it's a cougar paw or you paint your face like a cougar.
Yeah.
I think we got to get Paul Bow to get his face painted or something.
Paint your head.
That would be good.
We can get my head painted, you make the point. But again, it is Meet the Cougars pre-show. It is the local sports pod. Scott Sacco, head coach of the Hazelton area high school football program. Mike Sosar. Paul Ball will be joining us. You saw some of the cheerleaders in the band. We have a big finale planned. We start big, we end big. Go big or go small or go home.
That's right.
So let's get into this whole 2026 season. I know these last 2 weeks, which is it's laws by the PIAA, right? Tell us about these last 2 weeks, the prep. I mean, it's been going on since probably after football season ended, but run us through the process.
Yeah, so I mean, tonight's kind of our end of camp. This is like the way that we kind of celebrate it. The first week of camp is actually heat acclimatization. So we have to wear helmets and shoulder pads. There's no hitting. You have to do that for 5 days of 5 days of practice of no hitting to get used to the weather, get used to wearing your pads. Then this last week was actually, we did 2 days all week. So we were able to do the 2-a-day practices and have that. And
how does it fare out with the rain?
Well, we actually that night we were able to get on the field in the morning, and then because it was raining so bad, we were able to do film that night. So we were very comfortable with where we're at. I thought we had a great camp. We seemed to be clicking on all cylinders, and it didn't just start with camp, and it didn't just start the heat acclimatization.
Right, like I mentioned,
this started in December. You know, what a lot of people don't realize was, last year, until I got hired and we got in here, we didn't really get in here, be able to get going until almost April,
right?
So you're talking about a new staff, meeting a new coach, new coaching staff, players coming in, meeting us for the first time. So we have to implement our system. We have to get into the weight room, what we're going to do. So there was a lot going on in that.
That's what I was about to say. It's year 2. But now, and we talked about this when we met up in May, in the middle of the parking lot up at the McAdoo School. And one of the biggest things that sticks in my lunk head is you saying to me, they're all in. Not that they weren't all in last year, but it was a new system, as you had just explained. But they're more acclimated to the system that you've developed, you and your staff. It's smoother. It's easier. They know what's expected of them. Just give us a little bit of that direction and talk about yourself and your staff as well.
So, I mean, when you go back and you look at our season from last year, you would look at our highlights and we were a really good team last year. You look at our record and you'd say, there's no way. How could you say that? Every game that we played, maybe other than 2 of them, we were right there. And it was dumb little mistakes that we would make, whether it was a penalty or it was a big third down and we'd give the ball up and have the
steps, but good things.
We did lots of good things last year. And looking back on it, and I said this to our guys last year, we're the best 1-10 team in the state. And we went to a playoff game against a team like Wilkes-Barre, who ended up winning District 2, who we had them on the ropes at halftime. We were right there with them. And they were nervous. We had them nervous. And then the game just got away from us. But those are all lessons that you have to learn when you have a young team. And you have to learn from adversity. You have to be able to do that. And we just use that as a catalyst in the offseason. So we were in here in December. We were lifting in December. We started lifting in a weight room. By the time we hit March, We were stronger at any point than we were the previous year in March. From guys going to camps, guys doing trainings, heck, coaches going to trainings. We went to conferences, we went to seminars, we dug in ourselves. You know, because there's a lot of stuff that we think that we could learn and do a better job as coaches. So we bought in, and his entire staff, we went to a 3-day event in Washington, D.C., where we learned from NFL coaches and college coaches and just different aspects of the game. So you're going to see a completely different team this year, from player-wise to coaching aspect to everything.
Give us a little bit of insight to yourself for those who don't know. Again, it's year 2, but there's still a lot of people that just, you know, either don't know, they don't get to see us on social media, they don't have a computer. Obviously, TV is a whole different game now. But tell us a little bit about yourself and your staff that you were describing is going to all these conferences. I've been seeing them on social media since December, so it's honorable.
I mean, myself, I played here. I played right here on this field, not the turf. We were the mud down the middle of the field.
Oh, absolutely.
My senior year is when they did the prank and they decided to paint a certain something on the field.
Which I was Googling pictures the other day, and it's still up there.
That was on Google Maps. That was actually my senior night when they had to paint the field because one of our rivals decided to come and paint something on the field. That was my senior year. Went on to play football in college, played at Chippensburg, left the area, moved out of the area. I'm actually a chiropractor by trade. Myself, my wife moved down to around Philadelphia, lived in Philadelphia, lived in New Jersey. And then after we were out of the area for 3 years, decided to move back. Never getting too far away from football. Got brought back into the program, coach on the 7th and 8th grade team. So I did the 7th and 8th grade for 3 years, then came up and was an assistant coach on the varsity for 3 years, and then stepped away from the program for 2 years when we were having kids and work got crazy and opened up another office and we were away. And then, you know, our head coach ended up resigning, and, you know, the rest was kind of history there. Came back into it. Didn't want to see the program go in the wrong direction.
Right.
Trying to hire somebody from outside of the area. You know, even when Coach Bookman was coaching and he was going for the job, I really pushed for him because you wanted a Hazleton person in charge, somebody that cares about the area, cares about the community, and get a Hazleton guy. And I didn't want to see that going the opposite direction. So you got somebody here who just bleeds, you know, the red and silver, who just, you know, people ask me all the time, they're like, well, boy, what if it goes really well and, you know, colleges come looking? I say, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for this program to do it because I love it. I love the kids that we have. I love our area. I love our community. And you'll see that in all of our coaches. Every one of our coaches except one has played here as a player. And I have coaches who have coached for 2 years, and I have coaches that have coached for over 40 years. We have such a mix of experience throughout our coaching staff, and the knowledge and stuff that we have. You know, our kids are really benefiting from that, and they benefit from great coaches that really just love the program. It wasn't even a question after last year. You know, my coaching staff, everybody's still all in.
No difference. Awesome, Coach. All right, quickly, we'll get into generally direction and state of the program. I know back in the end of winter, coming into the early spring session, one of the big things that I took note of, and I'm sure, you know, the general follower, if they're a follower of the program, students of Weatherly and MMI being allowed to come and play with the program, as obviously either school doesn't have a football program.
Yes. So it was passed by the PIAA for MMI first, because MMI is allowed. What they did was they passed if it's a Catholic school or a private school and that student lives within your school district and their school does not offer that sport, they can co-op and play with. So that MMI,
the book a little more.
MMI was opened up right in December. They were allowed, anybody from MMI was allowed to come play with us. The Weatherly, I see a lot of patients from Weatherly in my office. people asking me for years, do you think they would do a co-op with Weatherly? Because Weatherly used to do a co-op with Jim Thorpe, but the problem was it bumped Jim Thorpe up a class.
Gotcha.
They didn't want to do that. They wanted to stay down in 2A. So they stopped taking on Weatherly, and I mean, that was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Weatherly hasn't had football in probably 15 years, I'd say.
Probably longer.
Maybe longer,
Yeah.
maybe 20 years, where they haven't been able to play. So it really, it gave some of those kids who play in our youth programs around here, whether it's, the Hazleton Raiders or the Freeland Whippets or with the Hazleton
And that's what I was
Cougars.
just about to get into, the state of the program. From the biddies, I don't even know what it's called anymore. I guess the youth program,
Mhm.
all the way up. Sorry to cut you off there,
no.
but it's you got a little ahead of me. I'm down.
Well, that was the thing with Weatherly, is when those kids get done with the youth program, they had nowhere to go. And if some of them wanted to play football, they had to transfer to a different school, or the parents had to move. So it was something to be able to do that and, just help out a neighboring community that's right there. And it's not, anything crazy. We think it's more for the future. We only have one player from Weatherly on our varsity team right now. We have a few in our 7th, 8th, and 9th grade program, which is good. But it's something like to build the bridge,
Right.
make that connection. You have to think about it. Some of these high school kids that are there, they haven't played now in how many years because they're out of youth for so long.
Right.
That they're like, well, I haven't played football in 4 years. Why am I going to go play now against these guys that have been playing all this time? So it's a little intimidating. So more so for the younger kids coming up to be able to do that and have that bridge. Now they have that option that they can come here and play. So,
And again, year 2 of the program, it's a whole nother cube, so to speak, of the entire square that can only grow as the seasons progress.
Yeah.
Quickly talk about the youth program. They start where it's 6th grade, is it now, or 7th grade?
our 7th grade,
Hazleton.
Yeah, so 7th and 8th grade is one team, and that's any of the schools of the seven middle schools. They could play on our 7th and 8th grade team. Then we have our 9th grade team. Then we have our junior varsity team, and then of course our varsity team. And junior varsity and varsity practice together. We kind of tell everybody we consider that one team. Everybody dresses for our varsity games. Everybody comes out. We're all together. Our 7th and 8th grade will play on Tuesdays. Our 9th grade will play on Mondays, and then our junior varsity will play on Mondays as well.
And the main thing with all of that, we've talked about this before in the past on the show and in the beginning last year, it's the Cougar way, right from the bottom up.
Yes. Our 7th and 8th grade program is running exactly what we're running. Maybe not to the extent
right.
of what we are, but the basic things and our play calls, how we're calling it, how we're doing things, how we're blocking, what we're doing. You're going to start getting exposed to that 7th grade all the way up through. So by the time you get with us on the varsity, you have a good foundation of what we're already doing.
Awesome. There you have it, all in a nutshell. We've let him rant along. We're going to bring in a special guest right now. He is a member of the Hazleton Area School District YouTube broadcast team. He even has a matching shirt like me. Would you get in here already?
I was waiting for my intro.
Paul Bowe is here with us, as well as SportsWire, my broadcast colleague.
Coach.
Hello.
To join us. We get a little more in-depth now as we bring Paul in. Paul, thanks so much for coming on. You'll see Paul a couple of times during the season, usually when we can't get anybody else.
Yeah.
We just buy him a couple of cheeseburgers, and he's all right.
I don't
So,
have a microphone.
Coach is going to handle his over to you.
Oh, look at that.
We'll put Coach in the middle. And again, thanks for coming on. Coach Sacco's not used. We're not used
You
to
want me to
having.
leave for this part?
No, we're going to keep you in here because he's going to grill you. Paul, your thoughts? You're number 2 of Scotch coaching and the coaching regime. As you heard us in the background here, a little more sound now. Things a little more in the cube of the square. Give us your thoughts, and I guess we'll grill Coach a little bit about the upcoming season.
Well, I agree with Coach a lot about last season. I mean, probably the best 1 in 10 teams in the state. There was many games that could have went either way. Just maybe something happened in the third quarter or something late in the game. And I know what everybody always talks about, depth on your team, and you guys had a lot of injuries last year. Especially towards, you guys had more guys on the sidelines. It seemed like at times like a mass unit. How is the team this year coming out of camp? The 2 weeks, you only get 2 weeks now to practice. and I noticed it's the second week. How are you guys physically going in, getting ready to go into the season?
Physically, very good. We had a few bumps and bruises, but nothing near what we had last year. And a lot of that and a lot of the injuries that we had, we put that kind of on the weight room, and not being able to get in the weight room and losing 3 months of lifting and not having our bodies ready for the grueling task of a football season. It's kind of, going back, this is kind of what I do for a living. And I kind of look back at myself and I'm like, how did we have so many injuries? And looking at it, and then when you really sit back and think about it, all those 3 months that we lost in the weight room, that was key.
Sure.
That was key. So coming out of camp this year, we, few bumps and bruises. It's still football. We're still hitting. We're still tackling. But I would say very, very healthy coming out of camp.
Yeah, that's great. And looking forward to the season this year, going in, who are some players that we could tell the Cougar Nation to keep your eye on? Someone maybe that's off the radar. That really, we know the main cup, we know the quarterback, we know Heck, we know the main. How about someone coming up that's really a sleeper that caught your eye so far? I know there's probably a lot.
Any of those guys, we're returning so much. We're really excited about our front line this year, and having all those guys and have such a united front that we have coming in there, ready to take on anybody. And you're going to have your names. You're going to have your JJ Lantigua, your Xavier Heck, your Jose Lopez, who just jumps off the chart. But two guys on our receiving core that, you may not see. Well, actually, really, there's three of them. It's the other three, because everybody knows that. We know Jose, but we have a guy that's out wide, Nolan Heller, who seems like he just didn't stop growing all off season. He shot up to 6'5", looks like a different player, a different type of guy. Flanking him on the other side is one of our senior captains who you'll meet today, Zach Wilson, who's just going to come in, all-around athlete who literally, we call him our Swiss Army knife because we could put him anywhere in the field.
Now, this isn't the Dolphins' former Zach Wilson.
No,
this is the good one.
No.
By the way, folks, they're both huge Miami Dolphins fans.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that.
But Zach could do anything. If we need him to step in at quarterback, he could play quarterback. He needs to step in at wide receiver, so he'll be playing wide receiver, and we could jump him around on defense as well. And then another name is Louis Guzman, who is a senior who didn't play the last 2 years. He had injuries in his 10th grade year. He was coming to Lifton last year, didn't really know if he could get back into it, has just committed this year, and it has been here. And I think he's going to turn a lot of heads because he has some speed. He'll also be playing corner for us. Just a real twitchy kid. And, somebody who we had a lot of question marks about whether or not he was going to stick it out, because it always seemed like something went wrong. And, he ended up leaving the team and wasn't on the team, but he has been committed. He is here. And, I really think that we look like a pretty powerful offense coming in there.
Scott, when you sent me that roster the other day and I looked at it and I'm looking at the height and weight, you guys got some big boys on that offensive line. And, in the Wyoming Valley Conference, it's been like this as long as we know it. It's some smash mouth football.
Yeah.
And it's, the big offensive lines usually wear down the smaller defensive lines at any level, especially in the Wyoming Valley Conference. But with Xavier in the backfield and you got some big kids on the line, I think that's, if you guys stay healthy, I think that should be a big key this year for you guys, especially early in the season.
And that's just on our offensive side of the ball. Like, you flip over to the defensive side of the ball, we got some, we like to say we got some dudes over there. We're getting back Agamith Del Cruz, who tore his ACL last year in camp. We were excited about him all offseason. Strongest guy on the team. Literally, one day he had to leave early, so we would be lifting in between. He had to leave early, and he said he had to leave. He had to go to work. He was working in between practices. And then he said, my mom's coming later to pick me up. I got about 20 minutes. So he didn't even warm up. He just jumped on the bench and just started repping 325. So
that's your kind of
that. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah.
So
we should try. Make sure it goes right on your neck.
That's a guy that's going to be in the middle, in the middle of the field. We're returning Jackson Johnson, heart and soul of our defense, in the middle of the field, gets us going every day.
Double J, as I call him.
Also a captain here. A lot of the guys that we have on offense also, flipping over on defense. But yeah, we're we were watching film last night, and we were actually going through our scrimmage and seeing just the mistakes we made in our scrimmage and how bad we looked in our scrimmage. And we know where we're at. We said, we know how good we are and how different we look. We kind of have a pretty good idea. And we're really excited for Friday night to come.
Yeah, and the numbers seem this year, you seem like you have some good numbers. 58 kids, I think, on the roster, 57, 58.
Outstanding.
And I know a lot of times during the early season, Coach Rich and I talk about this a lot, is the kids playing both ways. A kid like Xavier, who's going to run the ball probably 20, 25 times a game, also plays defense. He was returning kicks last year. So how important for that is maybe to give him a breather early in the year and kind of, I know he's like the energizer.
So, yeah, it's something that we went over in the offseason. And there's certain points of the games where, guys are going to be able to get breaks. Because I'll be honest with you, a majority of our guys on offense are also our best guys on defense.
Sure.
But we have a good committee of guys right behind them who showed some flashes that are second string guys who, maybe not here on a Friday night with the Cougars, they may be starting. They could be stars at another school and absolute stars, but they're committed to the program. They're committed to what they're going to do. And it's something that you don't necessarily find anymore in high school football. If I'm not starting, I'm not playing.
Right.
When I played, we would come into camp with 120 guys. We'd come out of camp with 90 on the team. I played in college. I did not see the field when I was in 10th grade. You had to work your way in there. And I remember standing out here on this field when I was in 10th grade in a playoff game, in a triple overtime game against Edinburgh. Absolutely freezing. The sidelines were so full of mud, they put mulch down. And I dug my feet into the mulch, and I had my hands under my shoulder pads because I was freezing. And I remember saying to myself, I will never stand on the sidelines again. And from that point forward, I hit the weight room, worked out, and you get in, and you earn your spot on the field. We don't have that anymore in 2026. If I'm not coming in and you're not guaranteeing me a spot, I'm not playing, or I have to sit behind a guy, I'm not playing. So the guys that are here, the guys that are on this team are committed, and they're committed to work, and they're committed to working their way in there.
And that's huge. I mean, and that's a credit to you and your coaching staff for creating that mindset, I think, with those kids, because I talk to a couple of your coaches all the time in the off season, and that's the main thing that I always get. Scott has put in some good systems as far as dedication. The kids want to be here. I'm
Police number 60, lip guard tackle.
Marcus West, number 58, right tackle and defensive end.
Zach Wilson, number 8, receiver, quarterback, corner, and safety.
he is the Swiss Army knife.
Scott Mooney, number 50, offensive guard and defensive end.
Coach, let's run through each one of them, give them a quick history, and then we'll, how we do it here.
All right, so we'll start.
And they're all seniors, by the way.
They're all seniors. So all of our captains are seniors, voted on by their teammates. All right. And we decided to go with 6 guys this year because they all got a large amount of votes, and to be able to go for these guys. And it's a big honor. We talked about it. It's a big honor to get voted on by your teammates, by your peers, that you're the one that they want leading you into battle. It's not like anything else in life. You don't get to choose who your boss is, where you go, where you work. If you go into the military, who's your commanding officer. You don't get to choose those kind of things. But in high school football, you get to choose your leaders, and their teammates chose them. So we'll start over there with Jackson Johnson, who I said before, he's the heart and soul of our team. When we are down, we need to get picked up. He's the guy that'll get everybody fired up. He's a guy before every game last year, you had to give him a hug because he'd get you in the ribs. And he tries to go as hard as possible. And
to high five you and not hug you when we get together.
Forget sometimes as coaches don't have pads on. All right. Standing next to him, Agamet De La Cruz. Again, he's a guy last year who we were super excited about. And obviously had an injury in camp. It was one of those injuries that we had where, he tore his ACL. And he missed his junior year, but he's going to make the most out of his senior year. He worked all winter, all off season to strengthen his leg, get it going, and he has not missed a beat. We were out here first day at doubles on Monday running offense, and he gave us fits with what we were doing. So Really excited to see what he's going to do. Mitch Chickalese next. His father is one of our coaches. He's coaches with us. I don't know. Was your dad a captain? Oh, he was. All right. I thought maybe you had one up on him.
He's the captain of Planet Fitness now.
Yeah, yes he is. Yes he is. But Mitch started for us all 11 games last year at left tackle. Got a little bit of defensive time. Just a great blocker, physical guy. Gets in there, does everything the right way of what we need. Doesn't stop. He's kind of our quiet leader. I don't know if you missed the lifting this year. You were here all the time. He was here early. He's one of the last guys to leave. So he's just a true leader, not as vocal as Jackson is, but he's just that guy that does not stop working, and you got to pull him off the field. Next to him, we got Marcus West, who took one for the team this year because he's wearing number 58.
I was going to say.
He was number 11 last year.
Yeah.
All right, so we told him we needed to shore up our right tackle position. We needed a guy to play right tackle. He was our tight end last year. With his quickness and his speed, he's more of like a hybrid skill kind of lineman. So also a great DN for us on defense. Probably one of the smartest, sorry, Scott, probably one of the smartest defensive linemen we have.
They can't win the hair battle with one another.
But he moved in to tackle first. A guy that's going to go both ways for us. Just another leader that we have on this team that just wants to put the team first, and that's true definition of a captain and a leader. So next guy standing back here is Zach Wilson, who when we talked and the offseason really wanted to push for quarterback this year and be quarterback, but we need him elsewhere and we need him in other places. So whether it's he listed everywhere he plays, whether it's wide receiver, whether it's quarterback, it's corner, it's safety, he has to know more than anybody else does on the team. He has to be able to, in pregame, go out here, throw balls, warm up as a quarterback, but then get in line and catch balls from the quarterback as a wide receiver, line up on the defensive side. Just he does it all. He does it all for us. And that's, if he could do it, he's out there proving that he could do it to all of the other younger guys, and showing them, what a leader is and what that looks like. And then in the end here, we got Mr. Scott Mooney, who apologized to somebody last year in our first scrimmage after he made a tackle. So Scott is a really nice kid, but he turned into one heck of a football player over last season. He was always a really nice guy, and now he's a gladiator on the field. Another guy who started all 11 games for us, going both ways, whether it was at right guard, whether it was at defense, at defensive end, led our teams last year in sacks on defense. So another one of these guys that's just a true leader and a true teammate. Another guy who, two-way athlete, two-way sports, because we did wrestling this year. Yeah.
Sports.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's good.
He wrestled this year, and when he wasn't at wrestling, he made sure he was at lifting. He made sure that he was here. But I mean, out of the 6 guys that I just named here behind me, you tell me a guy that doesn't deserve to be called captain, because they're all leaders in their own way. They all sacrifice enough for this team and do it for the team. And I'm really thrilled to have this group stand behind me and take the field with me every Friday night.
I was busting Marcus who were fixing his jersey. We talked about the helmets. Give us a little model, Marcus. Show off the new silver, right?
Yeah.
And if
Zach
that's
was over here. He had the gun shot going.
Yeah.
oh, they all have the gun show. Mooney's hiding it though.
Yeah.
With his stretchy shirt. He has to
The
hide it.
pants will match. As you can see, we're going to be in our home uniforms this year. We're going to be all gray. So
gray top, gray bottoms.
gray top, gray bottoms, gray helmet.
And then the road will be
All white.
all white.
So our gray helmet and all white. So the jerseys that we have on here when we're away, it'll be white. Just something, change it up, kind of,
Snazzy.
bring in a new era of Cougar football. So we're really excited about it this year.
Well, thank you to the gentlemen for coming on. Get a little hands in here, guys. Go get ready to be introduced to the public for the first time. Paul, you have any quick questions?
No, not really with the guys at all. I mean, I just was just wanted to talk a little bit about 6A this year with the District 2, District 4 collaboration with Williamsport, and now there's 6 teams there. I saw there. So now is it the same format? Everyone makes the playoffs? So
Only 4 teams
so
will
the
get
top
in.
4 will get in.
So it'll be the point system again this
Okay.
year.
Oh, that point system.
Uh-huh.
That's like the
So our first
electoral votes.
our first 3 games, we open up with West Scranton, who moved up to 6A.
Correct. Yep.
Then we go to Williamsport. Then we go to Pocono Mountain West, who are 3 6A schools right in a row, right off the beat. So our first 3 games are big in the point system. Our guys haven't had to worry about that a couple of years, but the point system, when I was in 11th grade, actually knocked us out of the playoffs as an 8-2 team, where we lost to a Wyoming Valley West team who went for 2 instead of kicking the extra point. Our defense wasn't on the field, and we didn't get out there in time, and they ended up getting a 2-point conversion, beating us, and they outpointed us and knocked us out of the playoffs.
That whole point system thing. We try to figure that out all the time, and there's teams with less losses that jump other teams because of the strength and schedule.
Well,
It's,
that extra team's in there now, right?
Well, there's 6 teams now, but Scott said only 4 make the playoffs.
Right.
So 2 would be, there's no buys or anything like that. Just like last year, 1, 4,
Right.
2, 3.
So it depends on your size of your school. So with a 6A, if we play a 6A school, you beat a 6A school, you get more points.
Right.
And then if they win, you get a point or points from that. So you keep earning points from the teams that you beat.
I'm gonna count on the both of you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we don't figure it. It's hard to
It's-
I tell you what, a couple of
Who's
years.
in math? Who's good at math?
Marcus.
I'll tell you what, if you could figure it out.
We'll have
Marcus on as
Yeah.
explaining the system to us.
Yeah.
I remember a couple.
We'll get him a chalkboard,
Years
maybe
ago.
a little pointer laser.
Years ago when I was covering down in Williamsport, we were covering for Web Weekly down there. It was in basketball. I remember Williamsport's team, they lost to Executive Education, who was at that time, a 3A school, hashtag 6A, but they were still classified a 3A school. They lost to them, and they ended up, I think, with 1 or 2 less losses than the team. I think it was Hazelton. Jumped them with 2 more losses, and the game was actually at Hazelton instead of Williamsport because of the point system, because they lost to a team that was of a lower class, which you know how that goes. But that doesn't really mean much. Like Schwickley Academy. We all saw that.
About that. That's a whole nother season.
Yeah, Mike got tossed off the court.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Gentlemen, you are free to go. Thank you so much for your time. I know it's been
Go get dressed.
crazy rough 2 weeks. These guys are gonna go get ready. Because not only they'll have time with family and friends afterwards, tonight's event too, Scott, not Coach Scott, right?
Yeah.
With pictures. I mean, they've already done group pictures for programs.
Yeah, but it's nice tonight because after we're done with the announcement, we invite family and friends come on the
Right.
field. That might be their only time to get on the field,
Oh, Bo, I want to thank you for coming on, giving us your insight. You look
Whatever.
great in your new shirt.
Yeah, well, this is one and done. I'll give it to my brother Jeff to wear for Ostrich Hat when they play out. I'm not much of the.
Get a guy in a new
Oh,
shirt.
yeah.
This is what he does to me all the time.
That's all right.
And
I have my Cougar shirt on underneath, buddy.
we have matching shirts like that. I don't have them.
Yeah, we do. We got to get some new Cougar gear.
We're gonna work on
We're
it.
working on it.
As we get set to come to a closer, I want to thank you, Coach Sacco. Ready for a great season. We have the next 12 weeks together, you and I,
That's right.
and I get to spend it with him, but we get together.
We're ready to
every
go.
Monday.
Hopefully it's a little bit longer.
Yeah, we're hoping.
Yeah.
We're hoping.
I said this is the official start when football starts of 9 months or 10 months, Mike, where we're together almost 3-4 times a week. From football to basketball to baseball.
And it seemed like baseball was going to be in a much easier sport.
Oh,
to do.
baseball was awesome. We had a great.
And we did have a great time, but it's at least when we got together with Scott, it's every Friday is a game, every Monday is the show. And we might get a little sidetracked here and there with practices going on. I don't know if there was, I know field hockey was out here this afternoon. It's along with football, fall sports are beginning. So it's just a crazy time for everybody. And school doesn't even actually start for another 2 weeks, right? I mean, it's a lot more, it's good for you as well, because you could, I don't know exactly what the PIAA frame on that whole practice situation is,
It's
but
easier for practice for us for sure. The kids aren't in school.
so it's it's lots of good things to come. Lots of good things to come, and I'm glad I get to share it with these two gentlemen in our little circle square. And I think it's gonna be a great season. I think it's gonna be an exciting season.
I want to see a home playoff game here. That's what we want. We're striving for that home playoff.
Yeah,
game.
when it's 60 degrees in November, I want it.
That's our goal. That
It's
is
supposed to be
our
an easy
goals.
winter according to the almanac. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So we get here like at the second home game.
I don't know. It was cool. It was cool this summer. We had summer for 4 days over the 4th of July.
That's what I was telling my wife yesterday. She's like, "We had a good summer." I'm like, "What do you mean? I mean, we had like 4
We
days
either
in
had
the
rain
90s."
or really hot, humid days that you couldn't even really step onto the ground outside. And if you were at the beach, it was probably 10 times as worse.
Yeah.
So all right, guys. Well, there you have it. Another one in, another start to another great season. Quickly, we want to thank our sponsors in closing again. Bar Bush Automotive. And again, we'll get into these sponsors as the season goes on and weekly. Scott will get tired of my rants, and we're going to have all kind of guests. I know we're bringing the band in here again and the cheerleaders so you could get a good look at them. The band director is coming on at one point. The cheerleading coach and coaches are coming on at one point. We have a great season planned. Join us every Monday. Quickly again, and we'll get into the sponsor thing. Barbush Automotive, BLB Auto Sales, Alta Pizzeria, and Pasta House, along with Dante's Inferno Food Truck, Noki's Designs. Again, thanks for the shirts that Paul's only going to ever wear once.
Maybe twice.
Maybe twice. I don't know. Out at a party somewhere. The summer's not
I'll
quite
remind the
over.
coach.
PA Warriors Baseball Academy, the Magical Paintbrush, Paint by Kate, a staple here at all home games at the stadium. Lily Beans Boutique LLC.
I want to comment on that boutique. That's like copyright infringement. You don't even ask for permission. I mean, maybe I could be on with Lily Bow.
Well, you are going to be when we do pregame. But we'll discuss that
Lily
later.
Bow or what? I could paint like Bob Ross.
Oh, we're going to get your face painted.
We're gonna paint your head. A big cougar thing on that bald head. That's what I want to see.
Like it.
That'd be great. We should do that for charity. I'll donate. We'll get some donations.
As long as Scott colors
You'll
the
give it
spirit, I'll
donation
do
right
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that wasn't the agreement.
You too. I don't know. We get off screen. Anyway, a big thanks to the Strand Roller Rink and Banquet Hall as well. Want to thank the athletic department as the band and the cheerleaders get set to come in here for the final numbers. It can start bringing them in. The athletic department, through you and personally, Mr. Barletta, Mrs. Brogan, Schnee.
Oh, love
We have to call him Schnee. We love Schnee. Dr. Uplinger, Dr. Patty, Bobby Mahalik. How about our stadium crew, Scott? There's been nights we had to set the lights so we got caught in the dark one night last year.
Shout out to Damien Dole.
You can't forget Damien Dolan, who takes care of all our broadcasts here at the stadium. Paul is a part of the Hazleton area district. He is our lead play-by-play man with the YouTube crew every home game this year. Again, if you can't get out here to the stadium, check out the Hazleton Area School District YouTube. Also, another big thing, and Coach, I just told you about this, SportsWire will carry all the away
all
games
5
this
games.
year.
We got, yep.
All 5 games. So we will take you down the road in one shape, form, or another this season. Very excited about that. And again, we'll get into sponsors as we go through my show and all our broadcasts, because without that, it just doesn't happen. And again, the maintenance and the security here at the stadium is just bar none. Whenever we need something, it's fantastic. They take really good care of us.
Shout out to Chubby too.
Yeah, God, I love Chubby. Love Chubby. I don't know why we say that, but we do. Big thanks to the band. They're going to get in here in a couple of minutes, along with the cheerleaders, the coaches for the cheerleaders, the band director. How about the Band Parents Association with all the food every home game, especially tonight? And I'm always excited for food one way or the other. Paul can vouch to that.
Sorry, he forgot his debit card. I can tell you that already. I got him, Renee. Don't worry about it.
But quickly want to remind you,
That's why I'm
sponsorship.
glad you have it.
You stop it already. You'll be the first one in line. It'll all be gone by the time Scott.
I'm really prepared.
I'm on a
Maybe
diet.
that cash.
Yeah, everything you see, you eat. Oh,
It's a safe
seafood
50
diet.
pounds.
He does. He looks a little thin, right? At least between me and Scott. But quickly, sponsorship advertisement opportunities always remain. Season's just getting started. You can check us out and PM us at the local sports pod on Facebook, or you can give us a call at 570-778 570-778-5942. I want to thank Kelly Kay, who was our producer. I know we had a bit of a tiny broadcast snafu with an overheat, but we got it fixed. My wife, my 2 kids, Scott's family, your wife is going to be canonized saint when this thing is over, and Paul Bo's wife just doesn't like him anymore. So it's we want to remind everybody about.
Shout out to Anna for closing the door too.
Yeah, and leaving the peanut butter jar unclosed this time. We want to thank, or we want to remind you quickly again about the first home game, Coach Sacco. A week from today. Today's the 21st of August, 28th of August. Home schedule open, 7 o'clock kickoff. Doors open at 6. Paul and I will be doing the local, and Coach hopefully as well. Local sports pod pregame and post. I'm going to bring you in post this year too, if you're feeling it.
I'm not coming out of the booth.
I didn't think you would, but we'll talk about it. And that's always on your YouTube as well. At the local sports pod on Facebook, the local sports pod on our YouTube channel. And all show highlights, including tonight's Instagram.com, the local sports pod. Always remember, as I say, please remember to view, like, share, follow, comment. Always positive comments, unless you're Paul Ball. He's always good at bringing the house down.
Hey, one comment too I want to make before you sign off.
Go for it.
Scott, I saw on Facebook, I think it's a great idea, whoever thought of it. Every game, I don't know if a lot of people saw this, you guys have a different theme. I saw that's awesome. There's Western Night.
That's in conjunction with the Spirit Club.
That's awesome.
Some of our players are in the Spirit Club, and they come up with that. And it's nice to get that information out there. Just have fun for the kids to do.
It is. That's awesome. I think that's really cool. I know some of that stuff for basketball, but to see it trickle over into football, I saw that the other day. I think that's really, really good to get more kids involved. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Paul bringing out more good points that I didn't have written down, but thank you so much. Scott worries about what's on the field. Who worries about who's off the field?
My wife.
That's right. That's right.
And told her between the fence.
And there's Midge. Speaking of Midge, we even got him.
We don't mess with Lauren. That's all I got to say. But very excited. There's still time to get down here to check out what happens at the actual Meet the Cougars event, which gates open not too long from now.
Yep.
And if things get underway at 6 o'clock, we're going to sign off. We're going to sign off with the cheerleaders and a band, and a big thanks to both of those groups. Our next show will actually be Monday, August 31st. Hopefully with good news from the first home game next Friday, and we'll talk about West Scranton, and we may even have Paul Bow with us, and we'll just get into it like we always do. So again, please like, share, follow, carry the message out. That's what it's all about.
Right, what's the band playing? What are they going to play?
The fight song.
Uh-oh.
They're bringing us in. These two gentlemen are going to head out. Thank you again, guys. Coach, we'll see you in a little while.
Thanks, guys.
Paul, we'll see you in a little while. Thanks so much.
All right, buddy. Get a picture of that.
Yeah. We're going to clear it out. Thank you so much for joining us on the Local Sports Pod. As I say